Hello, my name is Mark Trueman, and this is The Brutal Truth of Trueman. Today I want to talk to you about something that actually is very interesting. I've actually read a lot of books and actually studied a lot of history, and it's very interesting that governments, when they descend into socialism or communism or a form of dictatorship, actually follow a very familiar pattern. In fact, it talks about this in the Bible where Solomon talks about there is nothing new underneath the sun, which is to say that everything that has been done is continuing to be done today. There is no new things, basically. And when it comes to basically humanity and history, that seems to be the case. There seems to be a repeating pattern of what actually goes on. So when a government descends or actually has the plan to move into a dictatorship, it does a couple things. One, it buys the press. Now we saw this actually in 2016. We saw this with Trudeau actually taking our money, the taxpayers' money of course, and the government shoveling $600 million towards the press. Of course, without that money, the Toronto Star and other newspapers and other news programs probably would not have actually survived because they needed a bailout. Because nobody buys the paper anymore because, have you checked it out lately? My father and I used to read the Toronto Star. My father loved it for the sports section. I would read the pages. My mother would actually tell me to basically put down my cream of wheat and actually go to school and stop reading the paper. But anyways, regardless of that, you actually have free media back then. Today, they're beholden to the government because the government is the reason why they're surviving. So basically now the government has actually bought the press. Now that's one step. Step one. Two, they slowly basically move towards taking small incremental freedoms away in short order. Sometimes it's over the course of years, sometimes it's over the course of months, but they move it slowly. So basically it's like a boa constrictor. A boa constrictor on its own is actually not very dangerous. But if you're in its entanglement, the boa constrictor can actually suck the life out of you, can crush you. And that's exactly what we've seen over the last year in Ontario and other parts of Canada. We have slowly seen our freedoms erode. So that is the second thing. But the third thing actually is more pressing, and this is something that is happening right now. Right now we have another wrinkle, besides traditional media and newspapers, we have the internet. The internet is a wonderful place for free information, for discerning adults to decide what is true, what is false, what is in the middle, maybe it's conspiracy theory, maybe it's not, and be able to critically think about the content they're reading. Of course, they can reject it or they can accept it. They can decide what they do with it and how it applies to their life. Well, the government wants to treat us all like children with Bill C10. Bill C10 is actually coming up towards Parliament right now, and it's going to probably come up to a final vote in the next month or so. Possibly, as they're seeing, probably with the support of the NDP. So, and what this bill actually does is it allows the government to decide what you see on the internet. Yes, internet censorship. Internet censorship is actually here, and it's something so that, for example, not just the annoying Facebook fact checks, but you'll have different things. So, for example, if the government of Canada doesn't think that something is a false fact or it doesn't fit the narrative they're trying to sell with COVID or any other thing, for example, they want to get reelected, that's always a priority, they will decide to simply erase it or eliminate it or censor it or redact it. Now, doesn't that sound like we're being treated like children? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Bill C10 is actually a danger to democracy because it allows the government to basically decide what we see, what we hear, and what we can read. So the brutal truth is that the path of actually heading into a dictatorship is reliable through the study of history and of course the experience that we see through the study of history, but also gives us wisdom to press forward and also look at it and go, hold on, we're heading in the wrong direction here. And so the brutal truth is we need to turn this around. We need to stop this. We need to not allow the government. We need to allow freedom-loving people, not freedom-headed governments, to decide our destiny and to decide our determination for the future. So please stand with me. Please speak out to your friends. And thank you for watching and subscribing.